Did you feel like the healthy meals were kind of like, quote, what you should be eating?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
Actually be how I would eat, because a lot of that became my like go-to how I ate. I never ate like that my entire life, but I was able to, for 6 months, eat pretty healthy.
right. Okay. But it feels like it's coming from a more of like a dieting place, like good food, bad food kind of thing. Is that right? Like this
Yes.
food is really good and that food is bad.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that's what most people do when they're trying to, quote, be good and be healthy. One of the philosophies about, the way that I kind of see this is that there shouldn't be any foods that are good or bad. One of the reasons that I tell people to do just tons of craving tapping, take all the food that you think is bad or that you feel attracted to or that you have ever had a craving for, or if it's around, you want to eat it, and just do some craving tapping with it. I mean, I think when I started doing this, I did it on more than 50 different foods, because what that does is it takes that emotional charge out of those, quote, bad foods. And then it makes it so that your body, you can decide whether or not you want those things based on how it makes your body feel. When you no longer have that emotional attachment to it, you eat those foods, you'll notice that it doesn't make you feel very good, and you'll be able to choose not to eat them or to eat less of them later on.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But when you kind of when you force yourself to say, okay, I really want to eat that, but that's bad food. I'm totally empowered now. I'm doing all this tapping. So I'm just going to choose to not eat that. But there's still part of you that really wants to. This is when you're still in the diet binge cycle. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I was actually thinking about this because I knew that this would come up on this call today. I was thinking about, what do I do over the holidays that's different than what I used to do? And what I noticed is that I just kind of give myself a little bit more permission, but I don't go overboard, because I can have cookies and I can have pie and I can have cake and I can have these things whenever I want. I don't have a rule that I can't have them. And then over the holidays, when there's more of that around, I have those things. And sure, sometimes it shows up on my body, but I just kind of give myself permission in this time to just kind of go with the flow. Well, this is what it is. And, it's okay. I'm okay. So yeah, I think what was happening there is that there's probably still a lot of foods that you have craving. You did the ball of light?
Yes.
How many times did you do that?
I don't do it often. I did it a couple of times.
Do you find that there's a lot of foods that are really yummy to you, or that you really have a strong desire for?
Actually not. I think the thing is, for me, it's just a sugar thing right now. And it's just a sugar thing. I feel like I eliminated a lot of items.
Yeah.
It used to be all chocolate and now it's not the chocolate thing anymore. So that's actually good.
So I think just what needs to happen is you're oh, great, I got rid of my chocolate craving thing. Now my problems should go away. But you actually kind of have to keep following that. And if you now notice, oh, now you have a sugar thing, do the same thing. Either push it away or do the ball of light on it. You've got to if you keep following it and you keep going from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, it might take a little bit of time, but one day you'll wake up and be like, holy crap, there's food all around me and I don't even care. So that's my sense on it, is that I think that there hasn't been enough of the working through all the different things.
Well, that's interesting, because I didn't even notice that was something I was doing for 2 months, and I didn't even really notice that I really wasn't even going for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good question.